Good day. I'm William Garvey, editor-in-chief of Business and Commercial Aviation magazine. Today we're speaking with Brad Hayden, the founder, president, and CEO of Robotic Skies, LLC, a new company serving a new aviation segment and headquartered in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Brad, what exactly is Robotic Skies? What does the company do?
Well, it's a network of Part 145 repair stations around the world that provide maintenance services and inspection services to high-end commercial unmanned aircraft systems. In effect, we're a maintenance broker between the OEMs and the operators as well, and we basically are in the middle of that process for repair and maintenance for these high-end systems.
Are there that many commercial systems to justify a business?
Well, that's a really interesting question because, the forecast numbers keep jumping all over the place. But I will tell you that we just recently got a new forecast from the FAA. They've actually admitted that they underestimated the number of commercial unmanned systems flying significantly in 2017 and 2018, and now they're actually forecasting the numbers that they've currently got in the registry database to even triple by 2023. So I think we're going to see those numbers continue to grow. I think we'll see this market grow not just in the U.S. but globally. And I think that we'll also start to see other types of airframes come into the market, including optionally piloted aircraft, and that could eventually include eVTOL urban air mobility.
What kind of services do commercial drones provide right now?
Right now, they're doing some really interesting use cases around things like power line inspection, pipeline inspection, and we're starting to see more complex operations being flown, and that's a direct result of the aircraft themselves becoming more complex, having more redundancy, for example, built in for safety, as well as the operators becoming more sophisticated, more aviation-like, which is an excellent direction for this market to go, to be able to increase those types of use cases. The other things that we're seeing are things around, for example, ship-to-shore delivery of parts or shore-to-ship. They can actually go both directions. You can see some exciting stuff from some pretty major companies that are actually using these unique use cases, and we're going to see those continue to grow. But the one thing hanging out there, I think, is really the big X-factor use case that we just can't even imagine yet. We've seen this in, for example, the Internet. We never would have anticipated that it would be this integrated into our lives, and it's exactly the same thing with unmanned systems. I think there's going to be some use case that somebody's going to come up with that is just going to completely create an entirely new segment of this market that'll just dwarf all the other segments.
You were mentioning FAA, but you also mentioned international activity. Does Robotic Skies operate internationally?
We are. We're a global company. I think the latest numbers, and this is a number that's constantly growing, 170 Part 145 repair stations around the world. I think we're in over 40 countries now. The global aspect of this market is incredibly important. Again, we consider the U.S. to be about 33% of the market, so just right at a third. And with the development of the market internationally, and then, what we're seeing for regulatory guidance within each one of the different markets, we're going to continue to see them leapfrog each other and what they're allowing unmanned systems to do. So any company coming into this space has to have a global perspective.
Most of the conversation about UAVs and drones has to do with the designing and manufacturing and operating them. What made you think about maintaining them?
That's a great question. I saw this market develop while I was still in manned aviation, running marketing for an avionics company. And I will tell you that I recognized it was going to be really a disruptor to aviation. And we all know that aviation is a tough industry to disrupt. But, this isn't some of the evolution technology that we've seen come into our space, but rather it's definitely revolutionary. And all you have to do is look at the sheer number of units that are going to be flying to understand that. And I also understood that there was a unique opportunity coming from my own maintenance background that these units were going to have to be maintained very similarly to what we're doing with manned aircraft today, particularly as they start flying these more complex missions. So really the approach that I took was, what is going to be a market need, and then how can we best address that market and address it in such a way that made sense for this new market space. So not only are we looking at this emerging market of unmanned systems that really is new to aviation, but also this model that we've put together to broker maintenance unmanned aviation. So the combination of those two elements really creates a very interesting opportunity for us.
We've been speaking with Brad Hayden, the founder and head of Robotic Skies. This is William Garvey, editor of Business and Commercial Aviation magazine. Thank you for your time, attention, and interest.